Sit up straight. So today, just for something different. So a lot of times, and you might have done this in Anne's class, but in Sukhasana, the feet are kind of on the little toe side of the foot, knife edge. So this time, roll them up and bring them further in. So they're under the thigh, the mid-thigh, or rather than under the knee. And one knee will be higher than the other. That's all right. So just a different way to sit. And a little harder to balance, especially if you have calves of unusual size. So figure out your balance. Good morning, Vidya. And then and sit up straight. Bring your shoulder blades onto your back to lift your chest. Rest your palms on your thighs and close your eyes. Descend your thighs. Notice if there's any difference in the way you're sitting now to the way you normally sit on how to descend your thighs. Balance your shoulders directly over your hips. From the weight of your thighs downwards, lengthen up through the front of your body. Move your arm bones back so you feel engagement in your shoulder blades. So when you breathe, there's more space in the front body between the sternum and collarbone and sternum and arms. Soften your neck and throat. Release your jaw. Rest your tongue into the base of your mouth. Take slow, even breaths. And then gently open your eyes. Stretch your legs out. Press your thighs down, spread your toes. All right, and then sit in Virasana. So knees together, feet apart. Sitting between your heels. If that won't work for your knees, you can put a blanket behind your knees and sit on that. And pull the flesh of the fronts of your shins forward and descend your thighs. Now, that won't work for your child. So sit on a bolster. Put a bolster between your heels and your hips. Or a couple blankets, something like that. Descend your thighs, push them down. Is that okay? Okay. Interlock your fingers. Turn your palms out. Lift your arms up. Then from the descent of your thighs, lengthen up more and more. Like somebody's lifting your wrist towards the ceiling. Move your abdomen back, put weight onto your heels or onto your buttocks. Bring your arms back in and down. Interlock them behind. All right. Roll your shoulders back. Move your elbows back. And then keep that movement of your elbows moving towards each other and start to straighten your arms. Then you can just watch this for a second. You're going to lean forward and take your arms as high up as possible. Then come back up. Bring your hands in front again. Change the interlock of your fingers from the last time. Extend your palms out and lift your arms up. Move your arms further and further away from your hips. To lengthen the sides of your body, to lengthen your torso. If you find yourself kind of moving towards the front edge of your hips, pull your buttock bones, pull your abdomen back. Less likely you'll be pushing towards the back of your buttock bones. So you have to lift up higher and you probably have to sit higher. And bring your arms back in and down. Interlock them behind with the other finger on top. Bend your elbows, take your arm bones back. Roll your shoulders back, bring your elbows as close together as they'll go, and then lift your arms up. Straighten your arms. Then lean forward and lift your arms, maybe a little more. Try to keep them as lifted as they are now and come back up. There you go. Release your arms and rotate your shoulders. Extend your legs out. Press your thighs down, open the backs of your knees. All right. Let's see, how am I, wow. Downward facing dog. We'll do that first. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to show the next one because I'm going to run out of room. All right. Press your palms, spread your fingers, tuck your toes underneath, lift your hips high. Turn your upper arms out. As you turn your upper arms out, make sure the area on the base of the index finger is pressing down. Move your thighs back. Press down and forward to lift your hips up and back. Move your chest towards your thighs. Move your thighs away from your chest. Soften your neck and throat. Now, how strongly can you use your arms or your legs, or both? And at the same time, relax your face, relax your neck. Bend your knees, come down. Back to Dandasana. Okay. So if you happen to have a wall behind you, you need to put some brakes back there so you won't hit your head against the wall. I don't think I'll hit my head, but anyway. So sitting Dandasana. Lift your chest, lift your arms up. Press your thighs down. So if you're sitting on something, remove it, other than like the floor. All right, bring your hands back, lean back, bend your knees, lift your legs up, or like this. Yeah. Legs down, sit back up, lift your arms up. Take your arms back, lift your legs up, either bent knees or straight. Take your legs down, lift your arms up. Take your arms back, lift your legs up. Legs down, arms up. Arms down, legs up. Legs down, arms up. You can do this all day. I couldn't. Take your arms down, legs up. Take your arms up. Oh, trick. Legs down. All right. So you're going to either stick with that or you're going to do some rolling, and I'm going to have to move. So we've done this in class. I don't think we've done this on Zoom. This is where, just barely, roll back, and you come forward. So I'll show from the other side. This will actually work better. Come forward, roll back, forward. So, yeah, Marcia, so you probably won't roll back too much because it is like shoulder stand. Yeah. But you can still like kind of do it like this. So roll yourself around. Bob said that it was cooler there. Not quite as hot. Don't go too far over, Marcia. All right. Then come back to Dandasana. Now is the pause time. So when we go back, and then when we come forward, try to pause any amount in Paripurna Navasana. So go back, and then forward, pause, Paschimottanasana. Back, forward, pause, Paschimottanasana. Do that a couple times. Yep. You can also pause in Ardha Navasana. So the legs are lower, the chest is lower. A little easier to pause as far as balance. A little harder on the abs. All right, come back up to Dandasana. Yep. Bend your knees. Grab your big toes with your first two fingers and thumb. Hold on to the insides of your knees. Bring your knees as close, your feet close, your knees close. Squeeze your arms with your knees. All right. Don't look down. Look at least forward or possibly up. And then, keeping your legs squeezing into your arms, lean back and lift your feet off the floor. Find your balance there. If you have your balance there, oh, I think I didn't, you can't see me. Just stay. Forgot to pin the video. There we're going. That's where we're going today. Okay. Bring your knees together. Find your balance there. If you have a balance with your knees together and you have the hamstring flexibility, you're going to straighten your legs. Once your legs are straight, pull your shoulders back and lift your chest. You can do one leg at a time, yeah. That might be harder, unless the other foot's down, I can't really see. Then bend your knees, bring your feet back down. All right. So now, the fun bit. That's all fun, right? So when you come back, you grab your toes, and you try to hit the landing, all right? And you can do it with knees bent. I imagine so, oh, it's a little harder to hit the landing on a small blanket. But I know that it hurts your tailbone to do this. Yeah. All right, come back down. But wait, there's more. You can use a blanket or not. We've been doing this almost every class. For Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, 30, 60, 90, I guess it's sometimes called. The legs straight up, arms overhead. So the blanket goes under your hips if you're using a blanket. You don't have to use a blanket. You can have your arms by your sides. Squeeze your legs together. Spread your toes. Descend your abdomen. Use your exhalation to descend your abdomen more. All right, and then you're going to slowly lower the right leg down and lift it back up. Keep your left leg steady. Keep both legs straight as much as you can for your hamstrings. Move with your breath. So your leg, you can either exhale down or exhale up. And then switch legs. You can watch your right leg and see if it moves at all. It wants to join the left leg on the way down, but don't worry, you'll get to it in just a moment. Keep your legs straight the entire time. Although if your hamstrings won't allow, you can have your top leg a little bent rather than the bottom leg. And then join your legs together and move both legs down. They can go just a little bit, or they can go all the way down, not quite touching the floor. You can go slowly or quickly. With your exhalation, keep your abdomen moving down so it doesn't pop up. Less likely when you're on a blanket. And then bend your knees in towards your chest. Roll to your side. And come back to downward facing dog. Whenever you're ready. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Uttanasana. Press your thighs back. Lift your quadriceps up. Place your hands on your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. All right. I'm gonna go get my chair because I forgot to get it. So get a chair or a couch or a bed frame. It doesn't, it's just gonna be a support for your foot. So you'll want, if you're gonna use the higher height, you're gonna want padding on the top. So I'm gonna show with the chair, well, I'll show with the bed really quick. So this is the bed frame. I put my foot on it. It's actually perfect for me. It's right in line with, but I'll show on a chair so it's easier to see. So the chair, lift your right leg up. So it'll either be here on the seat or here on the back. I mean, you could just use a wall, but we're going to be doing some, yeah, stool will work too. That's pretty high, unless you're just using it for balance. Okay. So descend your right hip so your hips are square to the wall, or wherever you're facing. Let me just look real quick. All right. Sopo, I think you could walk your bottom leg a little closer to the chair. All right. Yeah, try to descend your right hip and move your right foot a little bit to the left. That way, yeah. There we go. All right. Okay. And then squeeze your hips towards each other, lift your arms up. Extend through your fingertips, press down through your left heel. Find your balance. Then you're going to bend your right leg and lean toward the chair wall or wherever you are. You can hold underneath the right knee. Lean in as much as you can. So here's the disadvantage of the foot on the back of the chair, run into the wall. Descend your right hip. Then you may want to watch this, Bob. I don't know if you can see the camera. You're going to lift your chest and look up. But you're holding onto your leg, so you're not going anywhere. Just don't straighten your leg. Keep your left leg straight. And lift your chest back up. Straighten your right leg. Take your left hand to your right leg. Take your right arm towards the center of the room, so you're in a twist. Extend through your right fingertips. Pull with your left hand to turn more and more. Then return to face the wall or the chair. Bring your arms up. Lean forward, maybe touching the wall. Maybe going down to the chair. Maybe taking your torso all the way over your right leg. Keep both quadriceps engaged, or all 8 quadriceps engaged. Inhale, lift back up, lift your arms up, and change legs. Right leg down, left leg up. Descend your left hip. Press your right thigh back. When your hips are square to the wall, to where you're facing, Lift your arms up. Extend through your fingertips. Descend your left hip. Grow taller and taller in your arms. Press your right thigh back. This one doesn't like to move back as much for me. The weight should be in the front of your right heel. Then bend your left leg, interlock your hands behind, lean towards the chair. Press your right thigh back so the right leg stays straight. And this might be enough of a stretch of the front of the thigh. If not, you can lift your chest and go back. Bring your chest back up. Straighten your left leg. Take your right hand outside your left leg. Take your left arm towards the center of the room, or wherever it happens to be. Come into a twist. Extend your left fingertips. Pull with your right arm to twist more. Then return to face your left leg. Lift your arms up. With your exhalation, come forward. Inhale, lift back up. Remove your left leg. Well, not completely. All right. So we're going to do that again, except not using the wall for our foot. So I have a chair next to my left arm. This is my left. I'll actually switch it so it looks more, so it's mirroring. So a chair to the left, or if you don't want to use a chair, you can use a wall. I actually find a wall slightly better, but it depends on the organization of your room. All right. And then go ahead, unless it looked like this for you, go ahead and get a strap and just have a small, actually this is, I'm going to show you a very comfortable way to hold your foot. Well, it's comfortable for your hands. So you're going to make a loop, a big loop like this. And then, so I have the strap like this, and I'm going to fold it in half. So I have kind of this way to hold the foot. And then as I put it around the foot, I have a lot of strap to grab. This is a little more comfortable on the hands. All right? But you have to be able to, your strap has to, this has to be your length. That's the problem with it. You could have it like this. Whoop. So you could have more room, but I find this one a little more comfortable and closer to my flexibility. Okay. Does everyone have something that they can use? So lift your right leg up and put the strap around your right foot. So you're using the chair for balance, the wall for balance, or nothing for balance. Roll your right thigh in, and now you'll know if the strap is too short for your hip flexibility. Press down with your left leg and straighten your right leg. Descend your right hip. You might need a longer strap now. Pull your right shoulder back. Then bend your knee again. Take the leg out to the side. Lift your chest. Extend your right leg. Pull your outer left thigh in, so you're not leaning toward your support. Your support is just to keep you balanced. Pull your right shoulder back to lift your foot up higher. Then bend your knee. Take it to the front. Switch hands. Okay, so now you might have a problem with balance. So we'll see if this works. Straighten your right leg. Take your left arm back. Whoops. I happen to have a wall here that's very convenient. So you're in a twist. And then turn back to the front, bend your knee, and place it on the ground. Yeah, I kind of added this twist in because I was like, oh, well, we did the twist and the other stuff. So we should do the twist on this one. All right. Have the chair or the wall next to your right. Bend your left leg. Roll your left knee in. Lift your chest. For here, even here, see if you can pull this outer hip in. So it's not leaning this way. Then straighten your left leg. If the left leg is straight and you have enough room, pull your left shoulder back, descend your left hip. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, by the way. Press down with the big toe side of your right foot. That'll keep you a little bit from swinging out. Then bend your left leg. Take it to the side. This one's harder, not to lean into that right hip. And straighten your left leg. That'll work. Pull your shoulder back. That would be your left shoulder. Bend your knee, bring it to the front. Switch hands here. Whoa. And straighten your left leg again. Turn to your left. Take your right arm back. So that looks like this. This one's actually easier to balance for most people than the other. Then bend your knee. Release your foot down. Since you have the chair here, you can use it for downward facing dog. Or Uttanasana, depending on how you like to look at it. All right, step forward, come up. Okay, so we're going to do that in a different arrangement. So the same kind of poses, slightly different. So I'll just show real quick. So we'll come from, Utthita Hasta Padasana, turn this one, Parsvottanasana. And then, actually, we're going to start with Trikonasana, even though Trikonasana is the one that is actually out to the side. So this is Trikonasana. And then we'll turn to the foot, Parsvottanasana, and then we'll twist. And then come back, come out, Trikonasana, okay? So take your feet wide, take your arms wide. What leg did we lift first? We lifted the right leg first. All right. Turn your right leg out. Yeah, I have it on the other side. All right. Take your right hand down. Trikonasana. And if you look at this shape, you'll see that it looks very much like this shape. Although it's really closer to this shape. Look. Somewhere in between the two. Okay. Now press down with your right big toe. Now you're going to take your left hand down. At the same time, you're going to turn your left hip in. So you're in Parsvottanasana. Yeah, you may need 2 blocks to this. I wanted you to be able to see, so I just left 1 block. Press both thighs back. Take your outer right hip back. At the same time, take your left thigh back. Then keep your left hand on the ground close to your right foot. Take your right hand to your hip. Push the hip back and turn to your right. If you have your balance, you can lift your right arm up into Padarita Trikonasana. Take your right hand down, one side either side of the front foot. Now you're going to turn your left leg out at the same time as you lift your left arm up. So Bob, descend this side of the chest. So move the top towards the bottom a little bit. Let me look. Yeah. Ah, nope. Straighten your front leg. Yes, that was it. There's something going on. All right, push through your left foot. Inhale, come up. Turn your 10 toes to the front. And then turn your left leg out. Right leg in. With your exhalation, bring your left hand down. To the block, to the floor, whatever. All right. Keep both legs straight. Roll your chest back, open up your chest. So we started with the harder one and we went easier. How's that? All right, now take your right arm down at the same time as you turn your right leg in. Take your outer left hip back. Take your right thigh back. So it's not coming toward the left thigh, it's moving back. You can fold over your leg or not. Doesn't really change the stretch that much if your abdomen's down. Then move your right hand close to your left foot. Take your left hand to your waist, so your hip. Push that hip back as you turn. And then if you have your balance, you can lift your left arm up. Rotate your chest, rotate your chest, rotate your chest. Bring your left arm down, one side and the front foot. Parsvottanasana. And then you're going to turn your back foot out as you lift your right arm up. And you can look at yourself in the camera if you can see yourself and see if your top ribs, this is the top ribs coming up. So move the armpit of the left shoulder forward, and that might work for you. Then press through your right foot, inhale, come up. Turn your 10 toes forward. Place your hands on your hips, elbows back. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to the floor. Extend your chest forward first. Yeah. Press your thighs back. Try to move your shoulders away from your hips. And then walk your hands back with your arms straight as far as you can. And then once you've gone as far as you can with your arms straight, bend your elbows and lower your head towards the floor. All right. Walk your hands forward, lift your chest. Maybe scissor your feet in a little bit, place your hands on your hips, come all the way up. Okay, I'm going to show 3 options. They're all basically same kind of thing. Hopefully you'll be able to see this because I'm not going to be able to see myself on the camera. So I'm going to use some support under my hips. This is option 1. It will look very familiar. So you're going to lift one leg up. My left leg is on the floor. And then you can take it out to the side. And then back up to the center. See how far towards your head you can bring it. And you can bring it over to this side like this. But I don't want you using your hands or a rope, because this way it will be closer to, this is much harder. So you'll bring one leg down without coming down. And then over to the side. Or you can also do that in headstand. All right. So everyone should have something to do. I guess if you were menstruating, then and you don't do those kinds of things, you pretty much wouldn't do most of this class. So none of the abs. Yeah. Yeah, like that, Chaya. Arms overhead though. Yes, and have a support. Oh, you have a support under your leg. Put the support under your hips. Yeah. I think that, is that purple block under you, Marcia, or is it next to you? Okay, yeah, all right. Just I was like, it looks like it's in the wrong spot. That's it, Bob. So this is just designed in a way to keep you off balance, making it harder to balance, making it harder to descend the down leg if you're lying down. You guys on the floor can switch legs if you haven't already. Yep, and you can also bring it across your body without moving the down leg. Yeah, like that. Or maybe you did it and it's angle's hard to see. Those going upside down will not cross over. I don't know. Headstand, it might work. Yeah, I guess it works. All right, finish up. So if you're upside down, start to come down. If you're lying on your back, pull your knees in towards your chest.
Wow, that bringing that leg down was super ab work.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it's like one of the things, like when I was, showing this, it's like it distracts you for how long you've been there. Although I can't do it in headstand that long without it messing up my neck. So I just showed it real quick. I can't do it in handstand that long either, just because I can't hold handstand that long. All right. Okay. What back bend do we want to do? Let's see. What did we do last time? Okay. So lie on your belly. Place your hands either side of your rib cage. Tuck your toes underneath. Lift your thighs off the floor. Roll your shoulders back. We're going into upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Press down with your index finger and thumb. Lift your chest, look forward. And then press your hands and lift up. My hands aren't even. Move your thighs away from the floor. Lift your thighs. Roll your shoulders back. Marsha, you can also do cobra. And come down. That's nice. All right, come onto your knees. This is my pretend bolster. Actually, I'll do it like this. So this is my pretend bolster. If you have a bolster, you can put it on your heels. If you don't have a bolster, you can put a blanket or two on your heels and sit down. Ow. This kills me. All right, Ustrasana. Press down with your shins, lift up. Take your hands to your hips, roll your shoulders back. Move the area right underneath your buttocks forward. keep that, lift your chest as high as possible. Then go back to your shins, press your shins down. Take your elbows back like we kind of did in the beginning where we had our hands interlocked and we rolled our elbows back. Lift up, reach down for the bolster. Press down onto the bolster. Lift your chest higher and higher. If it's comfortable for your neck, take your head back. Move your thighs forward. Move your chest away from your thighs, lifting up towards the ceiling. Then press your shins down and lift all the way up. Sit back on your heels. Or not, you don't have to come up. You can stop at any moment. All right, one more. Press your shins down. I'm gonna remove the blanket. And feel if there's any spot that's not touching the ground. All right, so your goal is to not change that. If there's a spot that's not touching the ground here, you're not going to be able to push it down when you come up. So if you have, sometimes people with high arches or like me have tight ankles, I mean, mine are down, but there'll be a little space there. And then notice when you come up if there's a space there. So remove that space, put it somewhere else. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Move your chest away from your thighs and up and lift your sternum towards the ceiling. Then move your thighs forward. Reach back for the bolster or your heels, possibly taking your neck back. Then press through your shins, lift yourself back up. All right, same pose, other way around. Lie on your back. Marsha, you could take, or anyone really, a blanket or two. This is Padasana. Not usually a lot of pressure on the neck, but just to be on the safe side, you could put a blanket under your shoulders, like this. And then when you come up, you just have a little more space. Actually, everyone just try this, just so you know what it feels like. You too could have neck problems one day. So put a blanket, folded blanket under your shoulders. You could have two blankets if you want to be able to press your arms down a little more. That would look like this. All right. And then so make sure your head is on the floor, but your shoulders are on the blanket. Bring your feet in close. Press your upper arms down. Lift your hips up. And then roll your shoulders under. And press your heels down more and more to move your chest towards your chin. Yeah. Roll your shoulders under. See, most of you could get your hands interlocked underneath. Bob, turn your right foot in. More. There we go. Heels down. Hips up. Higher. There we go. Yes. So I bet your feet could come closer together. Your hips aren't very wide. And then lower yourself all the way down. Did that work for you, Marcia? Okay. So you can either stick with that and have a block. All right, so you're here. And then you can take one leg up, out to the side, back up to the center, and down. Or you're going to go into shoulder stand and do the same thing. So start with both feet on the floor, knees bent. I'm talking to you, Chad. Bend your knees, put them on the floor. Yep. Now just lift your right leg up. Yeah. Now you can take it over to the side. And it won't go that far unless your left leg also goes to the side. So that's your work if you're on a block and you're doing variation of Tatouche. Shoulder stand. Let's see, right in the center. Shoulder stand, it's the same. You keep your left leg where it is. Lower your right leg down. And then you'll turn your leg out to the side. And lower that leg down. And notice how the side is much more difficult in both poses. And if you're there for a while, you can try bending your knee first, like we did when we were standing up. So we bent the knee, brought it into the chest, and then straighten the leg. So if you were in Tatouche, you could still bend the knee into the chest and lift it up. All right. Everyone have something to do? Yes. Except one leg stays on the floor for those on the block. Yes, correct. Again, more ab work. Is no one doing shoulder stand? Sopo might be. So notice what wants to move and what doesn't want to move. Basically, move the part that doesn't want to move and don't move the part that wants to move. If you want to be hardcore, you can do it without the block. All right, finish up. Have both sides even. If you're on the block, lift your hips. Slowly lower yourself down. If you're in shoulder stand, roll out. And be there for a moment. Roll to your side. And sit up. Okay. So we're going to do Trianga Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. So that's where one leg is in Virasana and the other leg is straight. So I sat on a block. So this is, I'm going to face the camera, but this is my left leg straight, my right leg bent. I'm sitting on a block. Let's see. So have your right leg straight. Bring your left leg into Virasana. Sit on enough height. And then balance yourself on the block. And a little fudging would be to move toward your bent leg side. So at least part of the thigh is hanging off the block, if not the buttock bone too. All right. Descend your right leg, lift your arms up. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come over your front foot. You can place one hand on either side. You can grab your foot. Lift your chest. And then bend your elbows. Ooh, that's hard on my heel. And come all the way down. So this pose can get a little tippy, meaning you're going to want to bend, you're going to want to lean towards your straight leg. So that's why I had that little fudge bit of letting the left thigh hang off. All right. Inhale, come back up. I'm just turning to the side. Bend your straight leg. Hug your knee in. So the left leg is still in Virasana. So don't move the left leg in. So just the straight leg. Lift it up off the floor. All right. And then try not to lean back like I just did. Legs are heavy. All right. Reach down. Grab the big toe of your right leg. Straighten your right leg. This is basically what you just did, except with the leg lifted, but it's bringing the chest and the leg towards each other. You might be able to grab with both hands, or not, or you can grab the calf. And then bend your right leg and switch sides. So right leg in Virasana, left leg straight. Trianga Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. Lift your arms up. Extend up. Press your left thigh down. Come forward. Grab your foot or your shin. And then come as far forward as you can, actually. So the amount you can come forward is actually not always your hamstring. Sometimes it's the bent knee groin. In my case, it's the bent knee groin. Then inhale, lift back up. Bend your left leg. Hug your left leg in. Reach down and grab your big toe. Lift your big toe off the floor. And the rest of your foot. Some of the things that come out of my mouth sometimes, I'm like, what? Start to straighten your left leg. Bring it in as close to the chest as possible as you straighten it. So even if your left leg remains bent, I'd rather it was here than down here, right? chest, possibly one hand each side of the front foot. Kranjasana, heron pose. I've never seen a heron do this. Actually, it looks like this. But bend the leg. Stretch both legs out into Dandasana. Press your thighs down, lift your chest. Lift your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Regular old Paschimottanasana. And then Shavasana. So another short Shavasana, but you're at home. You can have a longer Shavasana if you want. You don't have to get up after rising. Very quick Shavasana. So hurry up and relax. Press the weight of your body into the floor. Roll your shoulders under. Soften your neck and throat. Release your jaw. Rest your tongue into the base of your mouth. And use the next few moments to focus on your breath. Deepen your breath. Bend your knees. Support your head as you roll to your right side. Roll a little further to your right side and lift yourself back up to seated. Or not. Why they're all doing. Take your arms to the side, lift your chest. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Think of something you're grateful for. Namaste. Thank you guys for coming.